Hey everybody, ronarray here, and during the past few days we received so many new information and news in general about Path of Exile 2. So in this video I wanted to cover the most interesting stuff. Let's go! So first off, earlier today Extralife channel posted a video which heavily indicated that their team had some access to Path of Exile 2 and played the campaign already for longer compared to the creators who played it only on events. Many creators, including me, were completely confused by it and asked GGG to clarify. The video that Extralife posted got taken down pretty fast, and GGG also responded with this message, stating that there was some miscommunication between them and it's not a Extralife fault that the video got posted. However, as far as I understand now, Extralife still got some access and probably prepare more content based on that access. Well, stuff happens. We got a quick response and the situation is currently resolved. At least it is cool that there will be no spoilers and no spoiling videos for most of us, and we will be able to enjoy the game without staining the first impression. Tell me in the comments, guys, do you think that traditional media, such as Extralife, should have early access to games for promotion or not? Because in my opinion that topic is kinda controversial, and as a player I would just want that nobody would have an access more than a little time on the events that we all seen creators play just for promotional measure. There was also a Korean interview with lead PoE 2 developer Jonathan Rogers, which brings a lot of additional information and I want to break it down in that video. The most important change that been talked during that interview is Mirror of Kalandra, which is pretty much coming back, and we will have it in Path of Exile 2. It's going to be a very rare drop. However, since there's a chance that it's going to drop, I think there's a big chance that some divination cards for Mirror shards and Mirror itself are coming back as well, but it still needs to be confirmed. But Mirror itself is definitely going to be in the game, and I think it's going to be some part of meta crafting too, because you still will be able to just mirror the best items. Is it good change or not? It's a questionable manner, and we will need to see how well Mirror will fit into Path of Exile 2 crafting system. And second part, Jonathan believes that melee characters will have easier boss fights compared to ranged characters, because bosses will use different abilities when characters are staying on the distance, and melee right now, based on what Jonathan is thinking, is in a very good position in PoE 2. Since I'm starting the Monk and I'm probably going to play melee, I'm pretty happy about it, and I hope all melee enjoyers out there can rejoice together with me. Next point is GGG is investing heavily into servers and will try to make sure that servers are going to hold when the game is going into early access. That's one of my biggest concerns currently, because I think we could have server issues in the same fashion like last Epic had them, and it could hurt the game. But I still hope that issues are not going to be that big and we will be able to play maybe after a day at least. Next point is controller support. And that's been one of the points that GGG been making through the years. Controller support by itself should be significantly better on Path of Exile 2 compared to Path of Exile 1. They had a lot of developers working on that, and many people already think that playing Path of Exile 2 on controller is better than playing Path of Exile 2 on the keyboard. It still needs to be confirmed, however, if you enjoy controllers, you definitely need to try to use them, because most of the people who tried it enjoyed the process. Next step is uniques, and especially uniques from Pinnacle and game content, and Pinnacle bosses by themselves. Right now Jonathan says that most of those uniques should be chase items such as Headhunter or Mageblood, for example, and they pretty much want us to farm those Pinnacle bosses, which is a very cool idea I think, and it should work pretty nicely with the endgame system that Path of Exile 2 already showcased. I'm really looking forward to go for those chase uniques, and I hope they will have some particular price in currency as well. Another news is there are going to be no campaign skip, because GGG is not really planning to do that. So we will need to finish the campaign every time that we are restarting our characters. It's questionable as well, because when you're creating a lot of additional characters, running through the campaign could be a chore. But GGG is currently promising that PoE 2 will have significantly better campaign and better lore too, so maybe it will be more enjoyable. It will be especially cool if we will have like different roads, and maybe some additional bonuses such as optional quests or optional bosses will transfer between the characters. But right now it's not confirmed, and based on what Jonathan said, we literally will need to do everything from the start. Tell me in the comments again if you think it's working good for your playstyle. For me, it's kinda alright because I've been playing Path of Exile 1 for a very long time. There's also going to be no in-game path of building or any other way to pretty much calculate the damage of our skill. And no item simulation as well, so we will need to pretty much use additional tools and websites for it like we did before. That part is kinda questionable, but I think builders been pretty up and community used it very often in almost all RPGs, and I don't think it's a big issue. However, there's other cool bonuses for newer players. In the skill tree, you will be able to see what effect nodes will have before you will choose them. I think that's a very cool addition, and that way we will be able to work with the tree in significantly better manner. It will be much easier to understand without going to Path of Building or any builder on the website, if you want to pick that node or not. We're also expecting some balanced updates right after early access, and Jonathan pretty much talking about balance updates that are going to change some skills, maybe buff some stuff. However, right now the whole logic behind balancing in Path of Exile 2 will be that underused skills will be buffed and overperformance skills not going to be nerfed. I think there's still going to be some changes because some skills could be bugged and stuff like that, but it's a pretty nice logic to pretty much go forward. Jonathan also confirmed that there's no content for guilds in any kind, because they don't really want you to feel pressure to join the guild. So I think guilds will just stay a funny little thing that most of the players are not really using. You can use it just to chat with friends or be in the guild with people who share some challenges, for example. Another information about the guilds, that unfortunately our guilds from Path of Exile 1 will not be transferred to Path of Exile 2. So you will need to create your guilds again, and you also need to rejoin your guilds. It's pretty much up to a technical limitation, and GGG just can't do anything about it. And the next point is crafting system, and Jonathan talked a lot about it. So crafting system in Path of Exile 2 is going to improve over time. So it's starting off being kinda simple and understandable for all new players. However, like in Path of Exile 1 happened with Harvest, it's going to improve over time, and the system is going to be significantly more complex after release of the game. Right now the game is pretty much significantly more beginner friendly, and easier crafting system is a part of those changes. I think in general it's very good, because we are going to receive significantly more casual players and more players overall. So if the game will be accessible, more people will be interested in it, and I think it's a great part too. Also, skills right now will have added videos to it, so when you will pretty much hover over particular skills, you will be able to see a short video guide showcasing what the skill is doing, how it's looking and stuff like that. It should help you to understand what kind of skill you're investing in, and it will be easier to build for people who never played it or never watched like promotional materials before. Another great news is pretty much all Path of Exile 1 cosmetics and MTXs are going to move to Path of Exile 2 and will work on launch. However, not all of them will work on early access, and we will need to wait for some of them to be completely implemented into the game. However, I think GGG is very generous right here, because they're pretty much moving all the cosmetics from Path of Exile 1, so you will keep all the stuff that you already bought. And I'm looking forward to see what kind of cosmetics they will come up with for Path of Exile 2 specifically, because they have updated engine and the game itself is brand new, it's looking significantly better in terms of graphics, and I hope those cosmetics are going to be even better. So that was a set of news that we received from the Korean interview, and I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time. ronarray out.